Hey guys, my name is Olga and welcome back to my channel, and today we are gonna have beauty news, and this time actually we don't have that many products to discuss, but still, why not? So take a seat and let's go. And we are gonna start our discussion from Revolution and from these beautiful palettes, and I bought them and I received them today. I received them today, and unfortunately this beauty is broken. These two beautiful shades are damaged, and I will ask for a refund. But yeah, that's so sad because these two shades are so yummy, so lovely. I like these eyeshadow palettes from Revolution, and I think that for this money, if you need a nice, beautiful, and affordable makeup eyeshadow palette, sorry, buy this one. Buy at least one from this line from Revolution. They are just simply gorgeous. The quality is amazing. Matte shadows are blendable. Matte shadows are creamy enough. Metallics are great, creamy and lovely. And not all shades are great. Honestly, not all shades are great. It depends, but in most of the cases, they are quite okay. I'm just looking at the cherry icon. I'm not quite sure that I will like it because I see these metallic shades and they remind me of these big palettes from Revolution, and I don't like metallic shades from these big palettes because they're way too dry. It's not opened yet. I'm not gonna open it right now because I wanna film swatches. But it seems to me that we have a different formula here slightly. It's not a classical one. Aha, here we have the same formula. Crossing fingers, but we'll see. We'll try. I will film a dedicated review for a single palette, and I'm gonna film two looks using a single palette. And guys, look at this palette. It reminds me of Patrick Ta. Again, I think that Patrick Ta has a fully matte eyeshadow palette like this, with such neutral shades. Questionable. Sounds like a dupe. Sounds like a dupe. We'll check it and we'll discuss everything, of course. Here we have, by the way, more cool tone shades right here. Here we have slightly neutral warm tone shades. Looks quite lovely. About this palette, I'm not quite sure. Maybe it reminds me something. It reminds me, I think, Anastasia Beverly Hills a little bit. Maybe just a little bit. Okay, anyway, we'll see. And these palettes, as I've told you, they are great from Revolution. I can definitely suggest you them. These three we will check out together. And this beauty is fully cool tone. And if you have light skin cool undertone, I think that this palette may work perfectly. The only thing that we have some shades that are more, I would say, these two are just blue with blue undertone. This one looks like a mix of cool tone pink with purple and cream eyeshadows. If we talk about these cream eyeshadows from these palettes, you should set them with the powder, otherwise they can easily crease, and if you're gonna just simply apply pressed eyeshadows over, they still may crease. So ideally you should set them with a powder, just simply with your basic powder, and then apply basic pressed eyeshadows, and in this case you shouldn't have any issues. Next beauty I wanted to discuss, new limited edition from ColourPop with Shrek. I think that it looks lovely. Eyeshadow palette looks quite interesting if you like wearing some green shades. I think that it's quite nice and lovely. We have green, olive, a bit of brown and a bit of gray even, and the palette as it is looks quite lovely. The only thing, I'm not quite sure about the quality. Unfortunately, ColourPop sometimes has amazing quality, sometimes has great, beautiful palettes, but sometimes palettes are not the greatest and metallics are quite dry, I would say. Here we don't know, actually, we don't know, but the packagings, the idea, I think that everything looks quite lovely. We have as well blushes. Blushes are lovely, creamy. This formula from ColourPop is quite okay. I tried it and I do like it as well. A burgundy mascara was released. Glitters, the one glitters you can use on your face. I don't really like them because they are quite big, and yeah, maybe if you need it for a specific look it may work, but daily you're not gonna wear them. As well, some lip glosses were released in 4 shades, plus we have a beautiful single lip, I'm not quite sure whether it is a lip oil or a lip gloss. Like the idea, like the color story, and don't like that it's not that easy to order ColourPop from the USA, because don't forget that we have to pay taxes, and as an extra you have to pay for delivery. For instance, I ordered ColourPop last time, and for an order for, I think it was 80 euro, I had to pay extra 23 euro or something. So I mean, that's a lot for ColourPop, I think. As I've told you, this time we don't really have that many products to discuss, so we are moving to more high-end products. Fenty Beauty, new primers. They look quite lovely, and I think that they may work. One primer is fully mattifying, and I hope that it works nicely as a mattifying primer, because you know, it's not that easy to find a nice mattifying primer. By the way, I do have one that is from Honest Beauty. I think that it's not available anymore, but this primer actually worked quite lovely as a mattifying primer. And I know that for people with more oily skin, it's quite hard to find something great and something that truly works. So I hope that this product from Fenty is gonna be good enough. I will try it when it's gonna be available at Sephora. Next beauty, one size and a new powder. Quite many shades were released, and products from this brand are quite great. I have this well-known powder from one size, and I think that it's gorgeous, but it's more for oily prone skin or combination skin. In case of dry prone skin, this powder is just way too much. So I hope that this one might be used in case of almost all skin types, but ideally I would prefer checking it out. But unfortunately we don't have one size. That was Sephora, and we don't have it at Douglas, but it's available online, and as an option actually it makes sense to try. And if you have more oily prone skin, pay attention to this brand, because this brand has quite many products for oily prone skin. So I hope that this powder is going to be good enough. By Terry, and this time By Terry released interesting shades, I would say. Two beautiful two or three mascaras. Just a sec, I lost this picture. Yes, 2 shades were released, burgundy and purple. And you know, it's not that easy to produce a nice purple and a nice burgundy mascara that would look burgundy, that would look purple on lashes sometimes. Yeah. Currently, nowadays, drugstore makeup brands, they try to produce some, but quite often these purple mascaras are either way too light or either way too dark, and it's not really that visible that you're wearing something purple on lashes. So that's why I would say that it's not that easy to produce a nice purple mascara. With burgundy, same thing. Quite often, more affordable makeup brands, they release something extremely dark, and when you apply a burgundy mascara, it doesn't look like burgundy on lashes. Or they can produce a mascara that looks more pink on lashes than burgundy. So I don't know about By Terry. Honestly, I don't really think that it makes sense to pay a lot for a mascara and for eyeliners, for eye pencils, I would say, because here you can save a little bit. But yeah, it's not that easy to find a beautiful and amazing colorful mascara. As an option, you can actually try Eveline. Eveline has a nice blue, bright blue mascara. I haven't tried, and I don't know whether they have a purple one and a burgundy one. I should check them out. I hope that they're available. But the colors are quite lovely, quite pretty, and that's a little bit unexpected that By Terry has decided to produce something like this. And as well, 3 beautiful eyeliners. shades are lovely. Shades are lovely, burgundy, white, and dark blue. And I think that these eyeliners, eye pencils, are slightly metallic. That might be interesting, but again, I don't really think that it makes sense to pay 40 or 30 euro for an eye pencil. I just simply don't think that it makes sense. It's a product that you can finish within several months, and I think that it's better to spend this 40 or 30 euro on a blush, on a bronzer, or on a nice powder, or a foundation, or a concealer. But for an eyeliner, for an eye pencil, well, it depends. If you like a specific shade, maybe, because sometimes it's not that easy to find a nice and beautiful and kind of, let's say, specific shade and colorful shade. So yeah, if you like, of course you can take, and yeah, the shades look quite wonderful. A new foundation from Natasha Denona. I should check ingredients because my skin hates quite many ingredients. If it's safe for me, if it's safe for my skin, I can check it out and I can take it. What I do like about Natasha Denona is that she always produces nice working products. Of course, not all products may work in all the cases. That's expected. And especially if we talk about foundations, when a person tells you that, oh, it would work perfectly in all the cases, that's impossible. That's impossible. Especially if we talk about oily prone skin, extremely oily skin, and dehydrated or extremely dry skin. You can't use the same foundation in both cases. You just simply can't. They may not work the way other products may work. So truly it depends. So I want to try this product and I want to check it out, but before I will have to check the ingredients. And as well, I like that we have quite many different undertones and we have quite many different shades, because well, if we talk about Dior, Chanel, Estee Lauder, you know what, they don't produce olive shades, or they have some, but they might be way too dark, for instance. And as well, they like producing something more pinkish or orange. You know what I mean? Especially if you have lighter skin tones. I know that it's a little bit complicated, and especially if you have complicated undertones. So yeah, I hope that this foundation is good enough. And I like her concealer from the similar line, and I think that it's just one of the best concealer I've tried. That's great having something new. Lip sleeping mask from Laneige. I like these sleeping masks, and I finished yesterday my sleeping mask from Laneige. I used it almost 2 years. I can't really know how people can finish it within, I would say, several months. I use it as a sleeping mask, and that's why I think that I used it almost 2 years. So if you want to try try it, but I know that some scents are not the greatest and they might be way too synthetic. I tried and I had the one that is called chocolate something, and it feels and it tastes nicely and it's not synthetic. This one, strawberry shortcake, depends. Ideally, I would suggest you going to your local store and checking it out there. Because, you know, paying 20 euro and even more for a mask that smells like basic a drugstore mask that smells way too synthetic, I don't really think that it makes sense. But I know, that some people don't really like this sleeping mask. They just don't work for some people. And as an option, you can try to buy a travel size or kind of a sample in order to check whether a product works for you or no. Sorry, I forgot about NYX. New product from NYX, new lip stains. Of course we're gonna try them. Of course we're gonna try them, and I hope that the shades are good enough, because quite often if we talk about lip tints, lip stains, lip tint liners, they're way too red. I personally prefer having something more complicated, something more nude, more brown, more pink, and less red. Yeah, sometimes having something red and wearing something red is nice, but normally daily I don't really wear a red that often. And that's why I hope that we are gonna have some shades that are more, not orange, that are more neutral, that are more pink. Currently, crossing fingers, and yes, I truly hope that this product is going to be good enough. Next beauty to discuss, Haus Labs. It looks lovely. Contouring sticks, and quite many shades were released, and shades, they look okay, but I don't really think that the lighter shade would work nicely in case of pale skin, because it seems to me I've seen some swatches. There is a fly here. Okay, I've seen some swatches and it seems to me that it looks more neutral. So it's a kind of a mix of gray with a bit of pink and with a bit of brown. In case of light skin, cool undertone, neutral undertone, may work in case of warm undertone, depends on olive undertone. Sometimes olive needs something less pink or fully neutral without pink at all. So it may work in case of light skin, but in case of pale skin, we need something purple, not only gray pink. It must be something purple in case of pale skin, and it's extremely hard to find something like this for girls that are super pale. And for fair skin, same thing actually. Of course, it depends on undertone, but yeah, I can't even recall and name you that many contouring shades that are slightly purple. Yeah, that's hard. That's hard to find something like this. So here, I don't really think that the lighter shade would work nicely in case of pale skin. It's not gonna be enough. It's gonna be great in case of light skin. And I hope, and it seems, well, hope or seems, well, at least it seems based on what I've seen, that this shade, this product is quite creamy and it should be quite easy to blend it. Next beauty to talk. Okay, let's talk about these palettes from Hourglass. The idea is stunning. Nowadays, you can kind of, not nowadays, the truth is that you can buy these palettes only in New York and in London. In other places, you can't buy these palettes and you can't have these beautiful charms. You can't order these palettes online, you can buy them only offline. That's a little bit sad because the idea is quite lovely. I mean, having a possibility to customize your palette, especially if you're gonna have it for yourself. The truth is that if you're gonna use, and if you buy a product just simply for yourself and if you don't have that many other products, most likely you're gonna use this this particular palette for a year or even for two. Most likely even for two. It depends on shades you're gonna have. So for a normal person who doesn't buy makeup that often, I think it's a nice idea. And I think that it may work perfectly. And even if you want to collect, actually it may work quite lovely as well. I like the idea. I like the idea and I like these products from Hourglass. When I do someone else, when I do clients' makeup, I use Hourglass quite often. I have quite many palettes and I like them. I like these limited palettes, but I think that they are overpriced, and ideally I can suggest you to buy a single product because it's cheaper. It's truly, it's way cheaper. If I'm not mistaken, 1 gram costs €4. Maybe nowadays is a little bit more. The thing is that I calculated probably 2 years ago, so a single gram, if we talk about the palette, costs around €11, and at that time a single gram, if you buy a single product, was around €3. So yeah, you pay definitely more for a palette. But of course, it's up to you to decide whether you need something like this or no. A new limited edition from MAC and advent calendar from MAC. This advent calendar we are going to discuss later on as a part of another video talking about this limited edition. Well, I like the packagings. They look lovely. It seems that we have new lip glosses, new limited shades. We have several new lipsticks and eyeshadows. Single eyeshadows are quite lovely from MAC. It's mega easy to work with them. They are blendable, they are creamy enough, they are quite pigmented. Ideally, I would prefer swatching them before buying them. And I'm not a big fan of eyeshadow palettes from MAC. I think that eyeshadows are not the same if we compare them to single eyeshadows. I do prefer single eyeshadows versus eyeshadow palettes from MAC. The collection looks quite lovely and honestly quite wearable. Interesting news. A new brand, Louis Vuitton. I am not quite sure. I'm not quite sure about it. I haven't tried any products from Prada. As a reminder, Prada released their own brand, I think 2 years ago, maybe even a little bit more. And you know, when I look at these new products, well, they look better if we compare them to Prada, but I still think that I've seen something like this. We've seen something similar, and for instance, eyeshadow palettes, they remind me at some point Chanel, I would say. Honestly, some lipsticks remind me Nabla, I would say. And some lipsticks, they remind me again Chanel. So I don't know how it will go. Maybe it may work, but currently I'm not that sure. And I'm quite curious about the prices. I think that they should be more or less the same as for Chanel and for Prada from Estee Lauder. But let's be honest, Chanel and Estee Lauder are well known if we talk about makeup world. Louis Vuitton, no one knows, at least right now. We will see. Honestly, currently I can't tell you anything. We will see how it goes. For now, yeah, packagings, they look quite lovely, but yeah, some products, they don't look that unique. So I don't know, let me know what you think. And we will finish today with eyeshadow palettes, Blend Money Cosmetics. By the way, I haven't tried any eyeshadow palettes from this brand. Probably I should. If I'm not mistaken, they released 2 eyeshadow palettes, and honestly, they look kind of similar, I would say. Not fully identical, but kind of similar, at least several shades. I would prefer the one that is more pastel. At least it looks a bit more interesting as for me. And here we have four color stories, and you can mix some shades together. Talking about the second one, it looks a little bit weird because some shades, I think that they are a little bit too random, I would say. And yeah, you can still combine them with some other shades from this palette, but I don't know, it doesn't look that, not logical, but it's bright. Yeah, we have several bright shades that are like eye-catching, I would say. Some shades are like basic, nothing special. And from one side, that's nice that we have something bright and something more wearable. From the other side, I look at these bright shades and it's not that easy. It's not going to be that easy to use them. So ideally, you should combine these shades with something else and you should use an extra palette. So the second one, it looks more completed, I would say. That's why I do prefer this one. And as well, let's talk about this beauty from this lovely French brand. I do like it. And I think that the eyeshadows from this brand are gorgeous. They are blendable, they work perfectly, texture. Matte eyeshadows are quite creamy and the texture is quite thin. I like these eyeshadows. I like them. They are great. If you've never tried any eyeshadow palettes from this brand, try them. They're worth trying. And I think that if we compare them to Natasha Denona, I would say that I call it Viseart. Let me know how you call this brand. And the thing is that it's easier. It's easier to work with these matte eyeshadows than to work with Natasha Denona. Some matte eyeshadows from Natasha Denona, unfortunately, they get stuck. It depends on a specific palette. It depends on the formula. Here, I never had a single issue. And this palette looks great if you have more cool undertone. We have 7 matte eyeshadows, and top eyeshadows are great for some daily looks in case of light skin, cool undertone, and in case of neutral undertone as well, and in case of fair skin and pale skin. Metallics are, honestly, they are quite basic. I would prefer having more matte eyeshadows here. Metallics are okay, they are cream enough, they are lovely, but they look quite basic. So yeah, the palette actually is quite lovely, and if you've never tried these eyeshadows, try them. They're worth trying. Okay guys, let me know down below what you think about these new products. Do you like them or no? And what are you waiting for? Let me know. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if yes, don't forget to put a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I wish you a pleasant day, and I hope to see you soon in the next video. Bye bye.